Okay, America, we're going to dive right into the Affordable Care Act. It's about time somebody brought some logic to the situation. Because you see, all the politicians want to argue about health insurance. They want to argue about the Affordable Care Act. They want to argue about replace and repeal. They want to go on and on. Okay, well, here's the fact from a common American citizen. Small business owner. That's me. I think the Affordable Care Act's the greatest thing that the government came up with. As far as health insurance goes, of course. You know, and now you got President Trump who wants to completely obliterate Obamacare. Get rid of it entirely. But he doesn't have a plan to replace it. And of course, Obama put the plan in place, and that's what he's writing out as his legacy. But quite frankly, it's a failed plan. And here's why: because the plan's designed to take the weight off of the people that need assistance, which I agree with. But then it directly places the weight on the people that are already out there struggling to make ends meet for themselves. You know, I'm talking about the middle class, because that's who's paying the brunt of it. You know, millionaires can pay a $1,300, $1,400 a month health care plan. I don't think they should have to. I don't think it's fair. But here's who's getting hit. The cutoff number is 95,000 gross. You know, and that's another thing. They go off of your gross pay, which we never realize. We only realize our net pay, so I think they should go off of the net pay, which gives us a little bit more to work with. It's a little more fair. But if you make $95,000 a year or more, you get no subsidy. You're on your own. And I'm great with that. I'm happy to be in a position where I don't need the subsidy. But the other thing I don't need is them increasing in 12 months my premium from $540 a month to $1,395 a month, so that the government can afford to fund the front end of the plan of those folks that are making less than $95,000 a year and collecting a subsidy. And I think that's where the government's gone wrong. You know, the government should fund that program, not the people, not the middle class, not the small business owners, not the person that's making $89,500, $90,000. They shouldn't be penalized for that. They should be patted on the back for being able to get into a situation where they can afford their own health care. They don't need a government program. And for those that need a government program, you know, great. It's there for you. I think it's awesome. But the solution isn't to take it from the guys that can barely afford their day-to-day life. Let's face it, $95,000 a year gross for a family of four isn't a lot of money. That's a whole household. Ain't a lot of money to live on. You get by. But what I think we should do is find the money somewhere else. Don't take the money from us, the American citizen. That's where it becomes a misdistribution of funds. So as we all argue about Obamacare and whether it's good and whether it's bad, I think Obamacare is phenomenal if the government picks up the subsidy money for the folks that make under $95,000, and I keep my premium at its current rate. Now, in 2014, that rate was $540 a month. So now maybe it ends up being $650 or something, because I understand that the rates go up every year. I understand how that works. So maybe now it's $650, $700, I don't know. But it ain't $1,395 in 12 months. You know? I mean, that's insane. That's the government basically making a law, taking all the money off of the people and applying it to the other side of the people. What is that? Meanwhile, we're invading other countries, occupying other countries. We're supporting foreign wars. We're participating in foreign wars. Where's that money? Take that money back. I mean, haven't we learned anything? You know, in my opinion, World War II was the last conflict that we were in that we should have been in. You know? That, and then I'll even go with the first Gulf War. You can't allow a guy to invade another country, and George Bush Sr. did exactly the right thing. He drove Saddam back to Baghdad, and then he walked away and said, don't do it again, Saddam. And guess what? Saddam didn't do it again. You know? That's the way to handle a situation. Then you get the heck out of there. You come home. You don't occupy a foreign land for 20 years. How much money are we dumping on that? And what about the space program? How much is the government investing in the space program? We don't even have things fixed here. And we're sending a robot to Mars. We send a robot to Mars to look for water. And then that robot tanks it, and no one knows where it is. So what do? We get another robot put together and send that robot to Mars to find the other robot. What are we doing? What are we doing? How much money do we have that we could have put into the government subsidy Obamacare program instead of pulling it off the backs of the guys that are making $95,000, $100,000 a year and more? You know, let's make it fair. You know, President Donald Trump just picked up a whole bunch of tariff money. Picked up tariff money from China, picked up tariff money from Mexico, from Canada. That's brand new money to us. Never seen before. Why don't we plug that into Obamacare and lower the premiums on the people that make $95,000 a year or more? You know? Doesn't that make a little bit of sense? I mean, we're giving humanitarian aid all around the world, which is great. I applaud that. Nothing wrong with it. Support it. But we need aid right here in our own country. And let's face it, a lot of that humanitarian aid ends up going to the wrong people. Just like the weapons we supply to the extremist fighters that are supposedly fighting against dictatorship. Take the money from the weapons we supply. Fund Obamacare with that. I mean, I just found you all kinds of money, government. You know, and we're arguing over health care and we can't figure that out? Really? We're arguing over who's going to fund it when we're legitimately wasting money worldwide? I just don't get it, you know? So my stance on Obamacare, and I'm going to leave it at this. My stance on Obamacare, the program is great. The process is terrible. Because the process puts the burden on the backs of America that's actually out there capable of working. And the people that aren't capable of working are getting help from the subsidy that the government funds, guys. The government funds. I just showed probably, I don't even know how much that I just talked about we could save and put into that program from the space station, from not invading countries and trying to overthrow power and set up democratic governments in places that who knows if they want a democratic government. We're force feeding them that. Nobody comes to the USA and force feeds any kind of government to us. We wouldn't hear it. Why are we doing it to other people, man? Let them live their lives how they want to. You know? We got to figure out our own problem. We got to cut our own backyard first, right? We cut our own grass, and then we can cut our neighbor's grass. But you know what? Our neighbor might want to cut his own grass the way he wants to. And here we are telling everybody what to do. Telling everybody they can't have nuclear weapons, but we got more than anybody. Do as I say, not as I do. I guess it works. Anyway, my thing on Obamacare, quite frankly, is simple. Government fund the front half. Don't make the back half fund it. Find the money. We got tariff money, brand new money. We're not putting in as much to United Nations as we were before, thanks to Mr. Trump. New money. Let's use that new money to fix Obamacare and the healthcare program, because that's what seems to be what we're lacking the most, and what no one can seem to figure out. So anyways, America, that's my topic this week. This week's segment on Obamacare. Love the program, hate the process. As I said, government needs to figure it out. Hey, that's this week's segment, so I will catch y'all next week on a different topic with a whole lot of logic.